Okay, time to roll for narrator and Jane.
And Gamzee too,
Oh,
but
you're doing. Yeah, I guess we might as well do Gamzee as well. Okay, it looks like you're doing the narrator for Jane.
oh god,
You're doing Jane too.
fun.
And should I just say I'm doing? I guess we might as well roll just to see.
I mean, there are
Oh no.
more rolls down there.
Oh no, you're doing Gamzee too. Well, good.
I
Good
mean, there
luck.
are more rolls down there, so it's fine. I just have to talk to myself for a while.
Yep. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Alright. Jane may have stepped away from her pursuit of public office, but it's important for any educated businesswoman to stay abreast for the political going-ons of her nation. She keeps close watch on the political landscape. She's got more people with eyes on varied newspaper and website on RSC, but she likes to watch the human news herself. It's just such a delightful adult thing to do, she thinks, as she spreads out languorously in front of her television. She remembers her father doing the same as well. Well, without the luxurious silk robe and 80-inch TV screen. I admit I had second thoughts about calling off my presidential bid after what happened with Dirk, but you know what? I'm surprised to say that this administration isn't too shabby after all. I wasn't really worried that one of the candidates would naively roll back to the troll population control ordinances once Kanaya got the mother grub up and running. But they're talking a really hard line on this. Gamzee as ever, stands by Jane's side, assisting her as she jots down notes about the political events of the day. When she asks for a fresh pen, he fishes one out of his codpiece and hands it to her, but he looks uncharacteristically, thank you, disquieted. Whoa, are you really up and supporting that sticky shiz, my woman? Excuse me? That what? It looks like me and the human man is trying to keep the people down, and all discrimination. Oh fuck.
Discriminatorily.
Yeah, and such. Thank you. God damn it, I can't read. Jane chuckles at Gamzee's jape, but the strange expression persists on his clownish face. This be wicked serious, boo. Y'all really down with subjugating my ninjas. Jane scoffs. The downside of taking notes by hand is that one wrist is bound to get a bit sore, and it's left her short of on patient of the tiresome ordeal of explaining the basic functioning of a political system to an ignorant farcer. Gamesy, please. I'm not down with doing anything of the sort. Some of my best friends are trolls. I have no ill will towards trolls at all, and I want them to have the same opportunities and privileges as any human, or Carpathians, or what have you. But there are certain measures that are, realistically speaking, necessary in order to assure that these opportunities and privileges remain equivalent across the board. But breeding control, I don't know, man. Doesn't seem keeping in the spirit of tolerance and equality and all that, man. Gamzee, you just don't get it. It's not about equality. It's about equity. Yeah, I don't follow, honk. You see, in a system of equality, every individual is dealt exactly the same hand. Maybe this is an analogy you would understand. There were only one size of shoe. That would be perfectly equal if everyone had equal access to shoe. But would it suit everyone? Could everyone put on that one size of shoe and receive an equivalent level of support and comfort? I don't know. As long as it's a big old shoe, it might be all right, man. Jane has a pause to huff in exasperation. No, Gamzee, everyone needs shoes that fits the size of their feet. You don't make unequally sized shoes for unequally sized feet. Oh, word. I ain't know about all that, boo boo. But if you say it's true, yes, it's true. It's the same with building laws and that conductive to a functioning equitable equitable society. Some people are simply born into positions that confer upon them certain advantages, and it is the job of the government to ensure that people who are less fortunate can be lifted up, as it were, to match their luckier people. We must offer greatest assistance to some classes of people than others, to ensure that equity, such such is the case with natural troll and human birthright. So you saying you need different shoes for your human dicks and whatnot? Precisely. The reintroduction of the mother grub changes everything. Trolls and humans don't have identical birthrights. It's a fundamental biological fact that natural troll reproduction is much faster than humans. It's a matter of evolution in society. You know this, Gamzee. Your people evolved in a harsh, unforgiving world, and where the slightest misstep could lead to death. And like any animal would, your biology adapted to the circumstances. Your mother grubs have the capacity to produce an unimaginable quantity of eggs at a time to ensure that at least a few can survive to reproductive age. And I understand that in the context of alternating society, that worked great because the mortality rate was so high. Only a manageable number of individuals were able to make it to adulthood. But we have a peaceful society now with beloved caretakers and fair laws. No young troll is at danger of being killed by monstrous fauna. No one will be culled for being too weak. But that doesn't change your biology, so what does that mean for the troll population? It would spiral out of control with a matter of generations. You would come out a number of humans in a factor of 1,000 millions to one. The infrastructure would not be able to keep pace. The economy would be completely destabilized. The market would be flooded with thousands of trolls who wouldn't be able to find jobs or places to live. Not to mention the issue of your lifespan. Some of you will live for thousands of years. And honestly, speaking of biology, I'm not sure if we were to loosen population controls right now, that your people have, how to say, well, let's just say I think it would be irresponsible to gamble off whether or not the natural turn-in occurs resets itself in such a troll-dominated society. Maybe in 100, 200 years, but when you're proven that, I believe you will. I recently do, but when you're proven that you can coexist in a harmonious society with natural breeding, it might not matter so much exactly how many more trolls there are than humans. Wait, didn't we all up and jump forward so we got 2,314 sweeps of history in somewhat? With artificial breeding. I don't know, babe. This is all starting to sound a little xenophobic. Huh. Xenophobic. Jane narrows her eyes at the disingenuous buffoon. This is not the first time she had a conversation like this with him. By any stretch of the imagination, not even someone as willfully loathsome as Makara could be this dense. What's more likely is he's attempting to get a rise for her, to get her a little hotted under the collar, to put her in a certain mood. I just explained it's essential that these regulations were made in place so that the human and troll population can remain proportionate. It isn't as if it's an issue species, a phenomenon rooted solely in Sprutus crucial stereotypes, junk science, and knee-jerk bigotry. Bigotry. Sorry, there are objectively real and quantifiable biological and her behavioral difference between our species. which absolutely must be accounted for if we are to live as in a harmonious society. Together, where no species holds an advantage over another. I'm trying. I may just be a simple motherfucking clown. Not all knowledge is learned about the intri wait, intri wait intrical that word of humans economics and interspecies diplomacy. Honk. But all that political pontificating just slammed down into my think pan. Can't help but to think it feels a little like bleedings of a bitch what's about to get all up and cancelled. Cancelled? And just like that, she falls into his trap. There's no turning back now. The Celestius ritual is imminent. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Cancelled? Are you even hearing yourself? Who in the world gave you a literal insect? In, yeah, insect and clown face like you, but the authority to be canceling anybody. Wow, honk. Oh, forgive me if I'm a bit nettled to hear a, a drug addicted clown who murdered half of his friends then tell me that I, Jane Crocker, am canceled. Hey, you know that's insensitive. Addiction is a disease, and I can't rightly help that my Lucis was never around to teach me right from wrong. Yes, we've all heard the sob story, Gam, but I done gone and repeated now. My tall, frosty mama sitter. I'm a righteous man, and all I've ever been trying to do is get you right too. Which with morals and goodness all fill up inside as tight as your tasty hoballoons are with humans muju. Maybe what we needed is a little more communion, my wicked suckle sister. Flesh to motherfucking flesh. Bring those humongous bazongas over here. Get your filthy hands off me. Come on, mama. Just a little hunk to make it all better. No! Then die, then touch your disgusting clown baton ever again. You say that every time, my big busty babe. Make a motherfucker start to think it's something more than that political doublespeak of yours, my fine Dairy Queen. Ugh! In spite of Jane's protests, Gamzee makes a desperate play for a lusty squeeze. Jane pulls up a violent show of resistance, but Gamzee knows she has no real intent of fighting him off. It's all part of the kismetic dance. He has been clown mitts right on her busty bags, honking away. As soon as Jane starts screaming, the baby does too. Jake, sitting approximately 6 feet away, bounces the infant a little to come.
Okay, I'm not gonna roll for this because you've been doing so much already, so.
My jaw hurts.
I say, would you mind keeping it down for Tavros? He was sleeping, and to be honest, I think things here are getting a little blue for a baby.
They break apart at once. It's like she'd forgotten that Jake wasn't there at all. She scrambles to cover herself properly the moment his voice cuts through the din of sloppy, moist honking. Jake, darling, don't worry. There's plenty of attention to go around, my love. What would you care to join us?
It's okay. I think it's time for Tavros to be fed anyway. Why don't I just take a bottle and get him out of here so you two can...
Yes, Gamzee, get him a bottle, won't you? Jake, who had been sitting on the other side of the couch with sweet baby Tavros in his arm, remains stiff with his squaddling infant as he waits for Gamzee to carry out his commanded task. The clown bends over revoltingly in front of the couch, full rump straining against his plush purple breast, as if darling Jake to look away. And he can't. Jake stares transfixed into the full moon of the clown's butt. Sorry, my cat. appearing virtually shrink wrapped by the moist fabric as Gamzee slowly descends, fingers trailing down the entire length of his leg. His codpiece bobs between his spread thighs as milk that has been knocked out to the ground in in the fracas. Then he snaps right back up with a honk that nearly makes Jake rocket out of his seat. Jake's heart is racing so hard he loses focus. He doesn't notice that Gamzee is offering him the bottle until Jane's angry voice wrenches him back to his senses. Gamzee, that's been on the ground. Get him a clean one. Gamzee shrugs and squeals away the half-filled bottle in his codpiece. He walks off and returns with a fresh bottle from the fridge, then hands it over to Jake.
Haha, thanks. I'll just be going now. See ya.
Jake snatches the bottle from Gamzee's hand and all but flees the room as in a brisk walk as he can manage. Baby Tavros comes down as soon as the rubber nipple as the rubber nipple is in his mouth. But no matter how far Jake walks down to the long corridors of Jane's mansion, the lascivious honks echoes through the hall like the wails of a dolorous ghost. Nowhere is truly safe. Every little noise emanating from that cursed from that cursed living room shoots through Jake's skull like a gunshot. As Jake gently bounces the baby in one arm, he takes out his phone to text an old friend.
Shall I do Jade too? Or can you give it a go at least? Jade?
If you don't mind, my jaw hurts.
Jade, are you there? Yep, what's up? Can we call? Sure, Jake.
Jade stands up in a voice call before Jake can even move to to it himself. It's such a relief to hear her voice. It's something to focus on besides the "Oh, honk!" Jane winces.
Jake, it's been a while since you called. Is everything okay? Yep, just hunky dory over here. You know how it is. Love my lady and baby and all that.
Honk honk. It's Piggy went in the dark carnival. Honk 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 honk. The sound of his wife rapturous howling unmoors the last of Jake's composure. He staggers, threatening to spill soft little Tavros on his soft little head, killing him forever. It's not safe to stand, so Jake shuts himself into the first empty room he comes across and lets himself slide to the ground against the closed door.
Anyway, what's up with you? How's life with Daypat going? Oh, it's great. I'm really glad I just went for it. All of us together, it really is the best of every world. To be honest, I never really felt like I was cut out for monogamy, you know? It seems silly to even contemplate keeping me all my life for only one person now. I never really believe a person never runs out. That's great to hear. Speaking of, how are things going with you and Jane and, Gamzee? Well, it's not so much like that for me, really. Gamzee is more Janie's side piece, you know? I'm not really, well, enough about that. Have you been thinking of your plans for the future? What do you mean? Like, you know, starting a family and such? No, really, you two have been together a while now. You haven't put any thoughts into the next step? You and Dave would have some real gangbuster babies, I'm sure. Haha, I'm sure we would, but, well, not ready for it yet. That's not really it. I'd love to have a baby like everyone else. I mean, everybody's been having them. I won't pretend I'm not a little jealous, but I don't think it's gonna happen with me and Dave. What? Why not? If you want, I could get that whippersnapper we're talking to, get him to really man up and accept responsibility. No, it's nothing Dave it's nothing Dave is doing, it's me. Huh? There's no way me and Dave could have a regular baby together because I'm what's wrong? Well, let's just say that after all the sperm stuff is done, some things in my body, like merging with Beck mostly. Have you been trying? We can't really. What do you think your dog genes or whatever are keeping you from getting pregnant? Um, Not my genes exactly. I don't really want to get into the specifics. Would that rule out a union of an exobiological sort? I guess not, but I don't think any of us are really interested in having a kid with exobiology. It just feels, well, I think we had enough of exobiology for one lifetime. Fair enough. I thought about asking Rose to help us, but that's so much to ask. What, like, as a surrogate? Have her carry the child for you in a womb? Yeah, something like that. Goodness, have you mentioned this to her? Yes, we talked to Elizabeth about it. What did she say? I don't know, it's a tricky subject. She didn't say no, just that there was stuff to think about. I see, but, I might be missing something? What? Well, Dave is Rose's brother, right? Yeah? So, if he supplied the fatherhood material, wouldn't that be... Lol. What? What did I say? No, Jake. Dave wouldn't be the father in this scenario. Oh. Carcat, then. Wait, no, I'm confused again. Aren't there biological compatibility issues there? I mean, with natural birth and not the exo Watson machine. Carcat wouldn't be the dad either. I... What? MAO. Don't worry about it, Jake. Look, I gotta go, okay? It was nice talking to you. No, please don't. Huh? Don't go, please. Jake, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. It's just. Ugh, never mind. If there's something wrong, please tell me. I'm here for you. You know that, right? There's nothing wrong. Sorry. I'm just. I feel like we've been drifting apart lately, is all, because we've all been so busy with our new lives and such. I just wanted to talk to you like the old times, but I won't hold up if you've got places to be. Jake, it's okay, Jade. I'll be okay. Okay, I really do have to go. I'm sorry, but I'll talk to you again soon, okay, Jake? I'll call you. Okay, thank you, Jade. I'm sorry. Okay, bye.
And Jade hangs up. Jake releases a rattling sigh. Honk, 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 honk.
Okay,
God damn it, that was
alright.
torture. Oh my.
Roll for Dave now.
Oh, my
Oh,
jaw hurts.
I hope you can do Dave, though.
Oh. Alright, I'll do him.
How cute do you guys
Alright.
think John's baby is gonna be? Like, on a scale of 1 to 11?
Jane rolls over and nuzzles herself into the crook of Dave's armpit, taking Carcat's hand with hers so that it slugs over to her stomach. Dave doesn't stop scrolling on his phone. His face is a kaleidoscope of neon, lit from beneath by the alternating mushrooms that flare up at night with a sick green bioluminescence, and from above by the glow of his social media account. I don't know. I still haven't come to terms with the fact that John is gonna be dad.
You still don't think he'll be a good one?
I didn't say that, but okay, since you ask. I mean, think about it. If you're gonna rank us in order of maturity based on all the years we've known each other, about where would you put John? Carcat, lazily munching on a chocolate beetle, taps his foot against the picnic blanket. Jade moves his hand so that it's resting stably on the line of exposed skin above her shirt, where her tank top is rising up. He seems to not to notice. Instead, he's seriously considering Dave's question. He picks a leg off one of the beetles and flicks it over to Jade so that it lands on Dave's forehead.
Below me, but above you.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's all married and pregnant, and he's got a mustache.
I'm still not over the fucking moustache. Why not? He looks so good.
Yeah, he looks disturbingly good. I almost can't talk to him anymore. It looks so good.
Oh?
Jesus, Jay, don't fucking read into it. A bro can appreciate how attractive his bro has become and maybe get a little breathless at the sight of his chiseled jawline and maybe facial hair without being gay about it. I've just been thinking lately, every time I see him, that he's. Okay, don't make fun of me for saying this, but like, John's a man. Not a lowercase m man, but a fully grown, legit fucking dude with a leather briefcase and a suit that he only wears on a special occasion.
Pretty fucked up.
I know, right?
Hmm.
Jake pokes a finger into Dave's chin, sliding it up his jawline so that it puckers his mouth into a pout. It's a pretty cute thing to do, if extremely immature. This might be the point Dave is trying to make. They're all still kind of immature. Jave doesn't pick up on on the obvious subtext of the conversation. However, because she's been willfully undermining the subtext in her own personal life of nearly a year now.
Well, I've actually been thinking lately about how since Rose and Kanaya had a kid, and Jane and Jake had a kid, and John and Roxy are gonna have a kid, what do you think if maybe we had kids? What? Who? You and Dave?
Laughing, Jade flicks him in the forehead.
No, stupid, all three of us.
Uh,
What? Look, I know there are issues to sort out in terms of feasibility, but I think there are lots of options to consider. Maybe someone can help us out, like someone we know, or I don't know. What about adoption? That could be cute. Adopting a little grub or a human, whatever. I'm not picky. Um, Chocolate. Did you?
fuck. Uh,
It's fucking right. Jay, don't you read the newspapers? The new administration is cracking down on certain kinds of interspecies adoption laws. If you're so intent on it being the three of us, we literally will not be able to adopt a human child because a human administration is afraid that I don't know, tear into it and feast on its organs. And in that kind of political climate, well, I'm not sure it's a world I would want to raise a child in right now.
seen you tear into anything more complicated than a microwave dinner.
I know, right?
I mean, on the other hand, if we adopt a kid young enough, it would be totally fit in the microwave.
What the fuck, Dave? I'm not gonna eat our theoretical baby.
Dave puts away his phone and rolls up so that he's braced on his elbow. He meets Karkat's gaze over the rise of Jay's chest and smiles at him. Yeah, dude, I know. You're probably like the closest dad of the fucking year, just waiting for his moment to shine. I bet you'd whine and complain about getting a kid till we actually brought a junior home. The moment you saw his chubby little cheeks, your face would light right up.
Oh, I can imagine the look on Karkat's face right now.
Yeah, you know exactly the one. Like how he looks when his hot pocket finishes cooking in the microwave, which he understands is an instrument of food preparation and not some sort of grim infant warming device.
Why did he have to bring it back to the microwave?
Oh, 'cause I had more jokes to make about the subject.
Of course, God forbid Jade and I are not forced to listen to every letter of your morbid internal dialogue.
Whatever, you love it. Anyway, on the baby in the microwave front.
God.
I'd be more worried about being the one who do the deed, so to speak. I mean, it's not like I've got a great demonstrative background in rearing or anything. Considering all the places I got left as a kid, I wouldn't be surprised if it just put our baby in the toaster by accident or something. If you tally up the amount of hours I spent locked in the fridge compared to the amount of hours I spent in the American school system learning how to be normal and the polynomials, just saying, looks dire.
Uh, hmm.
Dave's starting into the distance, like a stop clock, or at the very least, like a dude who's been locked in the fridge more than once in his life. Jade and Karkat exchange a private look they've also given each other more than once in Dave's presence. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna stick to Hot Pockets, I think.
Dave, you really think you'd make that bad a father, even with me and Karkat helping you?
Uh, don't take this personally, but I'm an evidence-based on hypothesis kind of guy, and so far, the three relationships in our friend groups attempting parenthood. The second ain't looking so good. Just saying. A clown, a fascist, and a male sex icon walk into a bar sounds like the start of a bad funny joke. But when it's the start of a family, that when it gets a bit less funny to me. Poor little dude's gonna be fucked up.
Oh, come on, Dave. Tyrus is a cute kid. Sure, he is now.
The moment cognitive function starts firing off in that kid's head is wait. The moment cognitive function starts firing off in that kid's head, he's gonna be scared for life.
We don't know that.
Jade, I know Jake's like your bestie, and also your grandfather, and also kind of also your fucking dad, I guess. But his relationship
Hey, that's not necessarily true. You're right, it's not fucking true. Dave's just being gentle here to spare your feelings. His relationship is not merely bad, his relationship is a flaming wreck of an interstellar warship hurtling towards a planet at terminal velocity, with the entire crew brutally slaughtered upon re-entry, shoved straight down the Chagrin tunnel, and then immediately shot out to the other side, thus flooding the entire fucking neighborhood when it clogs up the low gaper.
and wraps her arm around her knees. Her ears go flat as she chews her lips.
It's not like I don't know that. John never shuts up about it. I mean, he and Jane used to be close back when we all first met, but last time I talked to John, he accused her of raping Jake.
Shit.
You don't fucking say. It's not like I don't worry about Jake, but come on, we're all adults. What am I supposed to do? Shut up as a window dressed like Blue Fairy and whisk him away from his terrible life? Maybe that will work for a few days, but the one thing I learned from dating around a lot of my youth is that no one's going to leave a bad relationship until it's their idea to leave.
A shaky breath and shuts her eyes. Her hair spills around her face when she leans forward to put her chin on her knees. Dave and Karkat exchange a look that is equal parts confused, miserable, and desperate. Karkat's making a fist against the ground, digging up a handful of moss and getting dirt under his fingernails. Perhaps it's a metaphor. He really speculates. From the way Jade has dug up the emotional dirt in the relationship, Dave clears his throat quietly. One of them could say something right now if they found nerve. But as the moments slide by, nerve remains in short supply. Karkat opens his mouth without quite having settled on the words that will come out of it. But before any do, the sky cracks open. Instead, he lets out an undignified yelp and scuttle back so he doesn't get hit by the sharp debris suddenly raining from above. Jade spins around and flings her arms out, using her space powers to catch the offensive rumble and shrink into harmless granules. They spark and clash against her fingers. She can't quite tell what they are. They're not rocks or metal. They don't even seem to be physical. Something else comes hurtling down of the hole in the sky, too fast for Jade to catch. It hits the ground with a clap of green lightning. The collision sends a geyser of dirt, rocks, and vapor into the air. Dave flash steps to shield Karkat. Jade doesn't move, taking the brunt of the explosion face on, using her abilities to wrap the energy around her so that she's a mote at the center of the storm. When the dust clears, she's the first to jump in the crater, trailing smoke behind her. There's a body at the center of it. The torso is bloody, tangled, and curled into a fetal position. Sorry. Its shoes are missing, but otherwise the outfit is quite familiar to her. It's a dead ringer for her old Witch of Space uniform. Jaden touches the body with the toe of her shoe, and then gasps when it rolls out to reveal its face.
It's me?
Karkat and Dave stick their hands over the edge of the pit. Holy shit.
Wasn't he ever living fuck?
Good question. But I don't know, but we should probably get her some help.
Help? For what? It looks like her internal organs are obliterated. She's covered in more blood than I thought humans even had inside them.
We can't just leave her in the fucking hole, man. Come on, give me a hand. Karkat watches as Jade stands over her own younger corpse. He notices the way her shoulders are slanted. It's clear even from a distance that she's shaking.
Jade? Do you have any idea what's going on here? What should we do about this?
Say anything. She's staring at the body, a badly broken version of herself, probably from a different timeline, she guesses. This Jade looks around 16 years old. Her hair is matted with blood. Her appearance is gruesome, yet also peaceful somehow. Dave slides down the ridge of the crater and grabs her by the shoulder. Hey, Jade. You hear us? Jade wipes a hand across her cheek and looks down to find that it comes away bloody. Those shrunken, massless shards from the sky must have nicked her face. Her eyes go wide as she feels out of her moment. She looks directly upward. Where did this body come from?
Uh, you, are you saying?
Jade?
Yeah, yes, Dave, I heard you.
Staring at the body. Jade digs her phone up out of her pocket.
I need to talk to Jane. Okay.
Alright, so are we